Three things hit me before my brain caught up. I was face down in 3 inches of icy creek water, my jacket soaked through, my skull throbbing, the metallic taste of blood in my mouth. And my bridge was chained shut. A brand new padlock glinted in the morning sun. I pushed myself up, water sloshing from my boots. My fingers touched the back of my head, blood, fresh but not gushing. The last thing I remembered? Sunrise, coffee in hand, notebook under my arm. Now I was standing in ankle-deep water, staring at a laminated sign. Notice, infrastructure review, temporary closure. Lake Haven Hills HOA. I didn't live in Lake Haven Hills. I didn't pay dues to anyone, and I sure as hell didn't remember falling into that creek. Then I heard it, the soft, mechanical whir of a drone. 10 feet above me. Red light blinking. Recording. The first move. Back inside. I stripped off my jacket and laid it over the radiator. My hands shook. Not from cold anymore, but from that creeping electric dread. The kind that curls in your gut and whispers. You're already surrounded. The motion detectors I'd set up last fall hadn't gone off. Either they'd been disabled, or I'd been unconscious longer than I thought. The microwave clock flashed zeros. The landline was dead. The internet router blinked red, no signal. I was cut off, isolated. And someone wanted me that way. At exactly 10:13 a.m., the doorbell rang. Not knocked. Rang. I grabbed the 1911 from the desk drawer, not out of panic, but principle, and stepped to the front door. 2 men in matching polos and tactical boots stood there. One held a clipboard. The other had a body cam. Mr. Callahan? Who's asking? Lake Haven Hills Compliance Division. I don't live in Lake Haven Hills. We're aware, the taller one said. But your parcel now falls under Zone 19B. I stared at them. One had a patch on his belt. HOA security. Not sheriff. Not state. Just a custom patch on khakis. We'll need to inspect your exterior structures, he said, nodding toward my shed. No. Refusal to comply is a Class C violation. Get off my porch. I stepped forward. Didn't raise my voice. Didn't raise the gun. Just let them see it. The short one flinched. The tall one smiled like he'd been waiting for it. Noted, he said, clicking his pen. We'll be back with law enforcement. Bring the governor while you're at it. They walked off slow, too slow, like they wanted me to watch. They passed the drone on their way out, gave it a nod, then climbed into a white SUV marked Neighborhood Watch. That's when I noticed the final insult. They hadn't just chained the bridge from their side. They'd installed a motion-activated camera under the far rail. Every time I approached, they'd know. The war begins. By midnight, I had rigged 3 motion detectors, a thermal trail cam, and a silent pressure sensor in the gravel approach. No weapons, no traps, just information. They weren't stepping onto my land again without me knowing it. And when they did, they'd find a homeowner who knew the terrain better than they knew their own bylaws. The next time Charlene sent someone to measure my freedom, they wouldn't get a tape measure. They'd get a lesson in boundary enforcement, and they'd have to cross the bridge to get it. The tribunal, they called it a community compliance tribunal. Not a hearing, not a meeting, a tribunal. That word told me everything I needed to know about Charlene. This wasn't about discussion. It was about public execution. Petra and I arrived 15 minutes early. The community center had been rearranged like a courtroom. Metal folding chairs, a projector screen, Charlene's favorite table up front like she was the queen of Hollandia. She didn't stand when we entered, just narrowed her eyes like a lioness watching wounded prey. Petra made the first move, leaned in close to the clerk, Jeff, a guy who'd borrowed my chainsaw and never returned it, and whispered something in his ear. Jeff's eyes went wide. He slid our names to the top of the speaking docket. Charlene noticed. She didn't like that. Welcome, said the acting chair. Mike, a man who looked like he'd accidentally joined a cult and was now stuck in customer service hell. We're here to discuss concerns regarding Jack Hayes and his, bridge. I almost laughed. His bridge. as if it weren't the only thing keeping this entire board from collapsing already. Charlene leaned forward, clasping her hands like she was about to read scripture. "Before Mr. Hayes speaks," she said sweetly, "I'd like to remind everyone tonight is about civility. We're not here to escalate tension." Petra coughed loudly. "You sure? Because the surveillance drone hovering over Mr. Hayes's property looked pretty escalated to me." Charlene ignored her. "We'll get to that. Eventually." "No," I said, stepping to the mic. "We'll start there." I pulled out the binder. Petra clicked the projector. Slide 1. HOA Bylaw Clause 7.2. No land reassignment without resident consent. Slide 2. County maps proving my bridge sat outside their jurisdiction. Slide 3. A close-up of the drone's lens peeking through my bedroom window. Gasped. "Everything they've accused me of," I said, "is lies. Badly coordinated, sloppily executed lies." Charlene snapped. "None of this matters. Your attitude alone disqualifies you from community trust. You're a danger to cohesion." Petra stood. "Is it community cohesion? Or compliance by force?" Charlene scoffed. "You're just his mouthpiece. I'm his attorney. And as of this morning, I've filed charges for unlawful surveillance, trespassing, and attempted land seizure." Charlene's face went pale. Then I pulled out the drone, held it up. "This isn't just evidence," I said. "It's a message. A line crossed." Charlene snorted. "You're delusional." I walked toward her. Slow, deliberate. "You wanted to label me unstable, dangerous, isolate me. But you forgot one thing." She met my eyes. "I build systems for a living. You think I didn't expect betrayal? You think I didn't leave failsafes?" Her lips twitched. "You're bluffing." "Maybe," I smiled. "But if I were you, I'd cancel whatever bridge inspection you've got scheduled for tomorrow." I clicked the remote. A low chime rang out from the bridge deck. Deep, metallic. Then beep beep beep. The bridge lights turned red. Charlene stumbled back. "What is this?" "Proximity response system," I said. "Non-lethal, but persuasive." Petra added, "And 100% legal. Local jurisdiction reviewed it this morning." A speaker crackled to life. My voice, calm as a metronome. "Unauthorized entry detected. This bridge is privately owned and protected. Leave now or legal measures will escalate." Charlene turned toward her people. No one moved. Then Mrs. Delaney stepped forward. "Charlene," she said softly, "don't make this worse." For the first time in this entire war, Charlene looked small. She turned to me one last time. "This isn't over." "No," I said, "but your part in it is." She walked off the bridge. No clipboard, no speech, just dead silence following her like a shadow. Aftermath. Charlene vanished. Not quietly, not peacefully, just gone. Her house never went up for proper sale. No listings, no flyers, just a for sale by owner sign taped to the glass like a whisper of surrender. The HOA dissolved within 10 days. The neighborhood changed. Lawns got shaggier. Patios got louder. Kids stayed out later. No one was afraid of clipboards anymore. As for me, I still walk the bridge every morning, every evening. It's a habit now, not paranoia. The bridge doesn't hum anymore. It breathes, quiet, solid, built to hold. One morning, I found a package on the far edge. No return address. Same handwriting as before. But this time it didn't say leave. It said, "You win. For now." I didn't burn it. I smiled and filed it in the drawer labeled legacy. Because that's what this war left me with. Not just victory. Proof that I was never the threat. I was the line. And the thing about bridges? You can block them, guard them, burn them down. But if you build one well enough, no one crosses without permission.